Okay, so you really want to get to the bottom of something
Right.
without having to, spend hours and hours just like digging through everything.
Yeah,
And that's why we're here.
that's it.
And today we're going deep
We are.
on Sophie Nélisse.
Yes.
And so many of you will recognize her immediately from Yellowjackets.
Yeah.
But we're not just talking about, all the buzz around the show.
Right.
We're going back to the very beginning
Get to her story.
to see what kind of path she took to get to this point.
Exactly. And it's a fascinating.
And it's maybe unexpected in some ways.
I would say.
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
So we've been looking at a really great resource.
Yeah.
It's the story of Sophie Nélisse Life Before Fame video.
Mhm.
It's by Famous Life on YouTube.
Great channel.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff on there.
And so we've kind of combed through that and
Yeah, think of it like your curated notes.
yeah.
You know, we've gone through the boring parts for you.
Yes.
And pulled out the interesting bits.
And really what we're trying to do today is to sort of unpack the major things in her life before she got famous.
Before she was a household name.
Exactly. So before Yellowjackets,
Exactly.
before all of it. So we're talking about her childhood
Yeah.
and then this kind of interesting shift
Yeah.
from super intense competitive sports
Right.
to acting and how all of those experiences really shaped her journey to where she is now.
Yeah. And some of the stuff in here, honestly, I had no idea.
I know, me neither.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Sophie Nélisse was born on March 27th in the year 2000
Okay.
in Windsor, Ontario.
Okay, so Canada right away.
Right away, Canada.
Yeah.
But then it gets kind of interesting.
Yeah, where'd they go from there?
Yeah. So let's talk about her family a little bit.
Okay, yeah, family's always interesting, right?
Oh, for sure.
So her mom, Pauline Belhumeur, was a school teacher.
Oh.
But later on transitioned into talent management.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And her dad, Hug Nélisse, is an engineer.
Okay, so a little bit of like, left brain, right brain there
Yeah, exactly.
in the family.
Totally.
And they have French roots.
Yes.
And they made a big move to Montreal, Quebec, when Sophie was only 4.
Gotcha.
So that explains why she's fluent in both French and English.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be where that comes from, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a huge advantage in this business.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To be able to work in both those markets.
Right. And it also just suggests that, like, her family really valued
Yeah.
communication and different
Cultures?
different cultures. Exactly.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And this supportive family environment seems really important, especially with her mom eventually managing the careers of both Sophie
Yeah.
and her younger sister,
Okay.
Isabel,
Right.
who also, by the way,
Was gonna say.
is a very successful actress
Yeah.
in her own right.
Yeah.
Known for roles in Mama, The Tale,
I've seen her.
and get this, the two sisters actually acted together
Oh.
in a few earlier projects.
Really?
Mirador,
Okay.
Wait Till Helen Comes, Worst Case We Get Married.
So they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, they've been doing it together.
Together, yeah.
So it paints this picture of a family that,
Yeah.
Maybe wasn't initially like Hollywood,
Right.
but clearly embraced the arts.
Yeah. Once they kind of got into it.
Yeah, fully in.
And here's where it takes a turn that you might not expect.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay, so before acting became her main focus,
Yes.
Sophie was really, really into competitive gymnastics.
Oh, wow.
And we're not talking about just like casual gymnastics classes.
Right.
We're talking, she was serious about this.
Okay.
Like she started training super young.
How young we're talking?
4 years old.
2 years old.
Wow.
And she had a goal. Okay, what was the goal?
The 2016 Rio Olympics.
Wow. So she was aiming for the Olympics.
Yeah,
That kind of puts a whole new spin on her early life, doesn't it?
it does.
You think about the dedication
Yeah.
that requires.
Oh my God.
I mean, just the hours.
It's intense.
So her training schedule
Yeah.
was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like some days, she was at the gym by 7 a.m.
Oh, wow.
and training around 30 hours a week.
That's a full-time job
It is.
for an adult,
It is.
let alone a child.
Yeah, and she was doing school on top of that.
I know that level of commitment is unbelievable.
Yeah, and that kind of discipline at such a young age.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about her,
Right.
work ethic.
Yeah, and like you wonder if that carried through to her acting.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah. 30 hours a week.
It's insane.
It's just crazy.
Makes you think about like how much focus she had to develop to be able to do that, and the resilience.
Yeah.
To keep going even when it's tough.
Totally.
And it makes you wonder, did that training help her later on when she faced other challenges?
Yeah, of her life.
Like, how could it not? Sure.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Even while she was so dedicated to gymnastics, the YouTube video says she actually signed with a talent agency.
Oh, wow.
When she was about 7.
So young.
Yeah, so this wasn't like a move away from gymnastics.
Right.
This was more like a way to help pay for her training.
Right.
Because, that kind of training is not cheap.
No.
So,
yeah.
Smart move by the family, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So even her early acting was kind of tied to her athletic goals.
Right.
It wasn't like she was dreaming of Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was more like a practical decision
right.
to help her get to the Olympics.
And she started with commercials.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which makes total sense.
Yeah.
Get used to being in front of a camera.
Exactly.
Get some experience.
You have to make some money.
Yeah. And her being fluent in French
right.
gave her a real leg up in those early days.
For sure.
And in 2008, she landed a recurring role on a sitcom.
Oh, cool.
Called Les Parents.
Okay.
It was based in Quebec.
Okay.
So even while she's doing all this gymnastics,
right.
she's building a career in French language TV.
I know. It's amazing how she was juggling both of those things.
Talk about a busy kid, right?
I know.
These are two completely different worlds.
Totally.
And she's excelling at both.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, she's in this movie, Monsieur Lazhar.
Yeah.
Which was nominated for an Oscar.
That's huge.
Yeah, so this feels like a turning point.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like she's getting serious attention now for her acting.
Yeah.
So her performance in Monsieur Lazhar was amazing.
I've heard that, yeah.
People loved it.
Yeah.
She won a Geno Award.
Oh, wow.
And a Prix Jutra Award. Huge in Canada.
Okay, yeah.
And she got nominated for a Young Artist Award for Best Leading Young Actress.
Okay.
In an international feature film.
That's amazing.
I mean, there's international recognition at a young age.
For sure.
That can really make you think.
Yeah.
About where your life is headed.
But like, are the Olympics still the goal?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And to get that much praise for her acting must have been amazing.
Like it's validating.
Yeah.
All that hard work pays off.
Totally.
But even with all that success, the Olympics were still the main thing.
Right.
But then
here we go.
In 2013, she gets this lead role in The Book Thief.
Huge.
Major film adaptation.
Yeah.
Huge opportunity.
Yeah, for anyone.
Yeah.
But what's so interesting is she was hesitant.
She didn't want to do it.
I know.
At first. She was training like crazy for gymnastics.
Yeah.
Like 35 hours a week at this point.
Oh my gosh.
And that Olympic dream.
Yeah.
She'd had it since she was 4. It was still alive.
Right.
So when the audition for The Book Thief came up, she wasn't even sure she wanted to go.
Right.
Or if she'd take the part, if they offered it.
I know.
That's wild.
I know. It's amazing.
To think about that.
Yeah.
Like she's so dedicated to one thing.
Yeah.
And then this other huge opportunity comes along.
Right.
And she's not even sure she wants it.
It's unbelievable.
It really shows you what she was dealing with internally.
Yeah.
Like what was more important to her. So what made her change her mind?
I know, right? What did it?
Well, it sounds like she went into the audition without a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Like she wasn't desperate for the role.
Right.
And when they offered it to her, she just connected with the script and the character.
The character, yeah.
And she also said that she wanted to use the film to say something meaningful.
Okay, so it was more than just like, the Hollywood glitz and glamour.
Exactly. It was deeper than that.
Yeah.
She wanted to tell a story that mattered.
And so at that point, the artistic pull is stronger than the Olympic dream.
It was a tough choice, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she chose the film.
Yeah, and that meant giving up gymnastics completely.
I know, after all those years.
All those years.
Of dedication. Yeah. To just walk away. It's a huge decision.
It's like a complete 180.
It is.
It's incredible.
It really shows you how life can change in an instant.
Yeah.
One decision can change everything.
Totally.
And you have to wonder if all that training, all that discipline helped her in her acting career.
Right.
Because it's a tough business.
Oh, it's so competitive.
Yeah.
And so a few years later, she graduates high school in 2017.
Okay.
And instead of going right to college, she decides to focus on acting.
Makes sense.
Right. And she takes on projects like which filmed in London and Morocco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she's traveling the world now.
I know.
For her work.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And now, of course,
Now she's a star.
she's known for Yellowjackets.
Yellowjackets, exactly.
This really just shows the power of
It does.
committing to something.
Yeah, when you find your passion
Right.
and you go all in,
And you go all in.
amazing things can happen.
Yeah. And so, just for anyone who hasn't seen Yellowjackets,
Yeah, give us a rundown.
it's about a high school girls soccer team,
Okay.
and their plane crashes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, in the Canadian wilderness.
Oh, wow.
And it's like super remote,
Oh,
and they basically have to fight to survive.
so it's a survival story?
Yeah, but it gets really intense.
Like, how intense are we talking?
It gets really dark
Okay.
and disturbing.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
They even resort to cannibalism.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
But Sophie's performance as young Shauna is just amazing.
Yeah, tell me about her character.
So at first she seems kind of quiet. Okay.
And she's like the sidekick to the team captain, Jackie.
Gotcha.
But then as the show goes on,
Yeah.
she has to deal with so much guilt
Oh, wow.
and the horrors of starvation,
Yeah.
and she even gets pregnant.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, in this crazy environment.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's a really complex role,
Yeah.
and she's so good.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard she's great in it.
yeah, and critics love her.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot of praise.
And the show has been renewed
It has.
for a third season, so
Oh.
clearly people are really into it.
Yeah, and Showtime even submitted her name
Oh, wow.
for a lead actress Emmy.
That's huge.
Yeah, so they recognize her talent
Yeah.
and the impact of the show.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
So it's just incredible to see how far she's come
it is.
from training for the Olympics
Yeah.
to starring in a hit TV show.
It really is.
It's
It's a
amazing.
remarkable journey.
And it shows that,
Yeah.
if you find something you're passionate about,
And you commit to it.
yeah,
You can achieve amazing things.
exactly. You never know where life will take you.
Right.
And sometimes it takes you to unexpected places,
Yeah,
and you have to be open to those detours
right.
because they might lead you
Yeah.
to something even better.
And you can see how those early years
Yeah.
of training for the Olympics gave her the focus
Yeah.
and the resilience
And the work ethic.
to succeed in acting.
Totally.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Makes you think
It does.
about how all those things we do
Yeah,
that seem unrelated
right.
might actually be connected
Yeah.
in ways we don't even realize.
And maybe those early passions
Yeah.
are preparing us for something
Exactly.
we haven't even discovered yet.
It's like they're laying the foundation
Yeah,
for our future success
totally.
in ways we can't even imagine.
That's a great thought.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's something to think about, right?
Yeah.
It's like those early passions are like secret ingredients
Yeah.
that we don't even know we're adding to the mix,
Right.
but they make all the difference in the end.
I love that.
Me too.
Okay, so that's our deep dive
That is.
into the story of Sophie Nélisse.
What a story.
And it's just amazing to see
Yeah.
how she's taken all of these experiences
Mhm.
and turned them into
Yeah.
this incredible career.
She's amazing.
And she's still so young.
I know. Who knows what she'll do next?
Exactly.
I can't wait to see.
So thanks for joining us,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll see you next time.
See you later.